Hello everyone, my name is Cody. I've been hearing the buzzword abuse a lot lately, and you'd be surprised, but it's not just about a dominant relationship between a girl and a guy. It's even common amongst friends. My best friend's name was Charlie, and he is a peculiar kind of guy, and we hadn't been friends for that long. And I was glad I had a friend until things changed. I never had any friends. I'm a loner in life. Maybe it's because I don't have a mother. She passed away many years ago. My father and I lived together for a long time. He works as a carpenter and I went to school. I can't say we're poor, but we're not rich either. In class, I was called poor, classmates often bullied me, could throw my things with books directly into a dirty bucket of water, soiled my jacket with chalk, threw insects in the hood. If I ate lunch in class at the table, someone is sure to spit there. All of this was terribly annoying, but I didn't want to tell my dad about it, because he was already working so hard. I didn't want to burden him with my problems, but the harassment wasn't getting any less. I realized that I just couldn't live at school, and I even thought about going to another school. But then something happened. A new kid came to our school. His name was Charlie. He immediately sat down next to me. Hi. Hi. I'm Charlie. I'm Cody. Dude, don't talk to him. He's lousy. You'll get poor. And if I sit next to you, I'll get dumb. And people can get rid of poverty and lice, but you'll have to live up with stupidity for the rest of your life. That's when I knew that we'd be friends. Charlie smiled and we started to talk a lot. It turned out we had a common interest. We both grew up with our fathers and often helped out in the garage. He knew something about cars, construction too. We were into video games and we played the same game more often, developing strategy. I had a friend for the first time in my life. I felt supported, which is very cool. Now at school, no one touched me. No one dared to tease me, spoil things or call me names. Now everyone treated me with respect or even apprehension. One day he suggested that we start a business together. A small business selling hard drives for computers. But we had to invest in it first. And Charlie was confident that we could make it work because we were good at it. But I chickened out. For one thing, I didn't think my dad would invest for me. And for another, we were just teenagers. Who were going to take our word for it? Charlie got upset, but we got to hang out more and more. He introduced me to his friends, and one day his friend Trisha asked me where my dad worked. He's a carpenter. I see, another bum. We're not bums. What kind of car? Wait, don't answer that. Must be an old pickup. Yeah, why? Poor man's car. Does that make you feel uncomfortable? It disgusts me. Charlie, did you find another one in the dumpster again? What is it this time? Not in the dumpster, at school. What? Dude, what are you doing? Why? Really? We met in high school. You know, Trisha, Cody's a good guy. Really? But you're right. You can smell the poverty on him. He's afraid to do the same thing. So what? That's poverty talking. We're not rich either, but we're not afraid to take risks. Charlie, I don't have that kind of money. Sell your dad's car. It's not worth much, but it's enough. What if it doesn't work? Then it won't work and we'll learn from the mistakes. I'll pass. You're going to cut yourself off from everything your whole life? Yeah, if I have to. You too. I freaked out and went home. I felt bad that my best friend was making fun of me for a lack of money. I missed a few days of school. My dad got snitched on and dragged me out to talk. He kept questioning me about what was wrong, and I didn't want to talk. I just shut down. A week later, Charlie came to see me. We argued again. He asked me what I had for breakfast. I said cereal, and he said, "You could have had breakfast in a restaurant." I was pissed off that my best friend suddenly cared about how much we made. I chased him out of the house, and then my dad came over. I had to explain the situation. He was quiet, and then he was like, "Son, I don't want you to live like me, counting pennies. I want you to take a chance." And then he held out his car keys. "Dad, are you sure?" "Yeah." "But we might not make it." "But you'll try. What if you do?" "I can't take that chance. It's your car, and you use it to transport materials. What are you going to drive?" "But the new pickup." "Where did it come from?" "You'll buy it for me when you make some money." It was unexpected, but I didn't say no. We sold the car within a week. I collected the money and brought it to Charlie. He smiled. We bought the material and we started selling it. For 2 whole months, we didn't get anywhere. My father and I were in deep recession, and I wished I'd never gotten involved, once even blaming it on a friend. "This is all your fault. You got me into the middle of nowhere." At least I'm trying to do something to get out of poverty. But what are you doing? You just lie there dreaming. Because of your idea, my father is without a car. What's he going to use to haul supplies? On you. What did you say? Charlie, stop right there. What are you going to do? Charlie freaked out, picked up all the hard drives and took them to the dump. He also managed to videotape it and put it on the internet. You're an idiot. I heard it from an idiot. What are we going to do now? I'm going to put it online. At least we'll get some likes. You're an idiot. My sister's popular on the net. I'll ask her to repost it. What do you need the likes for? Just like that. Give me a break. That's it. We lost it all anyway. And you know, the likes really worked. I woke up the next day. I felt like shit. I didn't know how to tell my dad about the loss. But then Charlie called. He was agitated. He spoke quickly and briefly. Come over. It turned out that people from the company that made the hard drives had come to see him. Charlie immediately called me over to talk to them. I rushed over as fast as I could without even having breakfast. 2 people were sitting in his living room, representatives from the company. They said hello and got right to the point. So, why did you get rid of so much of our product? What didn't satisfy you? Your video went viral amongst IT people. Not everyone would take and bring $10,000 to the dump. That's a lot for the rich. I have an offer for you. If you want to improve the situation and save your brand, pay us twice as much and we'll make another video. What kind of video will it be? You'll see, but I guarantee you it will help. It's a deal. We'll pay you as soon as it goes online. 30% now, the rest later. What if you don't take it off? What if you don't pay? And you know how to haggle. Here, a check for 30% of the amount. Waiting for the video. The turnaround was unexpected, even for myself. But that same night, Charlie and I thought hard about the plan. And we made a new video. We just turned the situation around that we would throw away all the hardcore of the world. Just for one, but a quality one. And we named the brand. Then we made a collection of videos to us working with these hardies. Going to bed with them, eating, walking around and being so happy. It turned out funny and crazy at the same time, as it is a trend right now. Anyway, the video went viral again. Our accounts were gaining subscribers, and with them came the price of advertising. Cody, you brain, what happened? I didn't expect that offer from you. Nothing, I got tired of being poor. Decided to do something I've never done, to challenge myself. I knew you were smart, so I befriended you. There was only one empty seat next to me, and you also made fun of me. I motivated you. Did you know that I had already talked to your father beforehand? What? How? He wanted to motivate you too. He listened to my plan and agreed to it. I wasn't the only one who believed in us. I didn't know. You can thank him and get your money back for the car. That's for sure. Since then, we got even deeper into advertising and marketing. Charlie worked more with clients, negotiating offers. We contracted with several big stores to do their advertising for money. And if we brought in clients ourselves, we got a percentage from there as well. At the same time, we were still in school and were already earning our own money. Word quickly spread around the school. Classmates stopped looking at us crookedly, were the first to say hello and asked to be in our videos. Charlie wanted to ask the girls many times, but only if I said yes too, which rarely happened. Oh no, it's nothing personal. It's just when I remembered how many hours I had dried books and lectures at home with a hairdryer after the guys threw it in the toilet or bucket. Tell me guys, did you like my story? Write your opinion about it in the comments below the video. Don't forget to rate the likes, share the video with your friends, and subscribe to the channel.
Hi, I'm Nathan, and I've had a crazy experience with girls as close as possible. And all because I happen to literally live among girls for a while. Do you want me to tell you how it happened? Then watch on, like, leave comments, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Anyway, when I started high school, I liked a very cool girl. Her name was Liz, but she didn't pay any attention to me. Despite all my charm and beauty, she thought I was weird. Maybe it's true. I'm just very sociable, and I always like to make fun of everyone. Tell stories, talk, mock. Sometimes I go too far, but even a guy like me has feelings, which means I can love. So I fell in love with Liz once. Most of all, I was attracted to the fact that she was part of the synchronized swimming team. It's just a bomb. I thought if I didn't get her attention this year, it would be over, because we were in our senior year. My friend Charlie and I once had a bet that I would get to know Liz better, but he just laughed in my face. That's when I decided to go to extreme measures. Just the day before, I heard that the girls' team needed another member. Yes, I was a bit of a jerk, and I wasn't afraid to take risks, especially since it seemed funny. So I wrote a letter to the school's email address, introduced myself to Leslie, and said I would come to the audition the next day. In the evening, I told Charlie everything and he laughed, and then asked me how I was going to go, because I don't have a women's bathing suit or a wig, and my legs are hairy. Wow, I didn't think of that. We immediately gathered our friends, who gladly agreed to make me a doll. I'll tell you right away, I never thought that the girls are all so messed up. It's a good thing I didn't grow a mustache and a beard. I went to a friend's house, where several friends were waiting for me with lots of makeup and gloves. I was told to lie down on the bed. I thought I was going to get a relaxing massage. I was smeared with something warm on my legs, arms, and chest. And then they stuck some white stickers and told me to hold my mouth with my hands. When I asked why, a hell of a pain shot through my bones. These girls stripped me to the skin. Well, that's what I thought. They were actually pulling out my hair. It was terrible. When they powdered me, made up my hair, did my hair. I used to have shoulder-length hair. Put on the biggest swimsuit. The most important thing remained. I had to do a breast job and hide something. You know. They quickly built me some things and stuck them on my chest. As if I have a chest, and what all the boys have, we hid with special underpants. Well, 4 hours of work, and I almost looked like Miss Universe. Everyone was laughing around me, and I was just taking selfies. The next day, I went to the casting in the pool, checking in advance whether everything is in place. I put on a beanie, a bathing suit, stuck these things on, and tried to walk like a woman. Then I saw Liz. She was part of the cast. I walked with more or less feminine gait, then walked over to Liz. Charlie was watching from the window, laughing wildly, and I tried to hold back as much as I could. I said hello. We talked for a while, and then I showed you how I can swim. Liz checked it out. I was happy and asked for a phone number, but she said it was not necessary and said that other girls would call me back. I left. Charlie kept telling me I'd never get her phone, but I thought the game was just beginning. Surprisingly, 2 days later, I actually got a call back and asked to come back again. I was selected for the national team. Can you imagine? I couldn't believe my ears. At first, I laughed to myself and then realized with horror that now I have to clean my hair all the time. But I was willing to make such sacrifices to win the argument. This is a matter of honor. From that moment on, I was constantly coming to training, being close to Liz, and I tried to pretend that I didn't understand something, so that I could get to know her even better. She helped me with swimming, taught me how to move beautifully, and hang in the water to music. I was getting really excited about it. I just didn't think it would take so long or so seriously. After the first workout, we went to the shower together, and when I went in, it was like I was in heaven. There was a bunch of naked girls standing there, all bathing, passing shampoo to each other, and I tried to pretend it was natural, but I couldn't seem to stop staring. Then I felt uncomfortable inside and realized that it was time for me to leave. I gathered my things and quickly ran toward the exit. Aren't you going to bathe? Liz asked, and I muttered like, no, and ran away. Oh no, I thought for a long time, so I didn't stretch. Charlie asked me a lot of questions at night. I asked myself how I would look at them tomorrow. There's nothing to do. The argument's not yet won. So I gathered my strength and came to training again. Liz often made comments to me because I was always distracted, but I couldn't help myself. I was wondering, if you were in my place, how would you behave? On the second day, I went straight to the locker room to get my things and saw one of our girls crying. Her name was Annie. I sat down to talk to her, and she was crying so bitterly. I found out that her boyfriend had left her. We met for a short time, about a week, and then he invited me to his house. I really liked him, but I never thought that he would leave me after our first night, she said and sobbed on. I suddenly felt so sorry for her, so I calmed her down and went home. In the evening, we met with Charlie, and he immediately began to tell us that day before he broke his personal record for girls. He showed me a photo, and I recognized the girl as Annie. I was kind of annoyed to find out that the same goat is my best friend. Charlie said he wasn't planning anything serious with her, just a one-night stand. Why did you do this? I saw her today, and she's in a lot of pain. I couldn't believe what I was saying. It didn't sound like me, but I really felt sorry for Annie. Charlie twirled a finger at his temple and said I was getting too sentimental. You're really going to be a girl soon, he said, and left. That night, I went to Annie in my disguise, and she was sitting in the schoolyard, crying again. When she saw me, she started yelling at me to stay away, because she knew that Charlie and I were friends. I calmed her down, told her it wasn't worth it, and then gave her a pie and wiped away her tears. We had a nice time, and a laugh, and then she said that this experience with Charlie would make it easier to get burned. I was glad that I was able to help her. Charlie found out about our friendship, and was furious. He came to our training session and approached Liz. He knew how important it was for her to perform, and he also knew the truth about me. In short, there was a terrible story. He showed up and took off my fake breasts in front of everyone. Then I tore off my bathing suit, and Liz fainted. He made it sound like I was some kind of maniac who almost sniffs women's underwear and played this whole concert for Liz's panties. I was so angry that I jumped on him and hit him hard. We fell in the pool and got into a fight. Liz was hysterical. After this incident, access to the team was closed to me. All the girls hated me, And of course, Charlie and I are no longer friends, and only Annie supported me the best as she could. I was the last asshole in Liz's eyes. I disgraced the team. I let them down right before the first show, and all thanks to my stupid ideas of making fun. Liz hated me, and that's what hurt the most, because I really liked her. The principal of the school heard about my illegal deception, said that he was obliged to punish me. He promised to expel me from the school, and I did not expect such consequences. Dropping out of school at the end of the year is not a good prospect. I spoke to him and said that only if the team captain asked me to leave, I would leave. And as you understand, the captain is Liz. A day later, I was about to confess everything to my parents, but suddenly the principal called me to the office. When I went there, she was sitting there. I was surprised and at the same time ashamed. She asked me not to be excluded. We left the office and she said that she had heard Annie's story about my help. It was only because of her that I asked to leave you, she said. It was nice. In general, since then we began to communicate, well, as friends. But I found a replacement. One of my makeup artists just used to swim, so they quickly prepared for the competition.